This fruit looks like a pine cone. It tastes like custard. And every summer, my father is in a race to pick it. Not against the weather, not against time, against the birds. He grows 6 of these trees in his garden in Vietnam. Every morning he walks past each one. He's not admiring them, he's reading them. Because this fruit gives you a signal when it's ready, a signal written right on the skin. Miss it by 2 days, and the birds will eat every last one. I grew up thinking everyone ate this fruit. I thought it was as normal as an apple. I was very wrong. By the end of this video, you know 3 things. What this fruit is, and why most Americans have never tasted one, even though it might be the sweetest thing my father grows. How my father knows the exact day to pick it. The tree doesn't tell you. The skin does if you know how to read it. My father reads it every morning. And here's the thing, the birds are reading it too. And what happened in my mother's kitchen last night when the harvest came inside? Let's start with the obvious question. What is this thing? Now, if you live in South Florida, you might already know this one. You've maybe seen it at a farmer's market or growing in somebody's backyard in Homestead. For everyone else, this is a sugar apple. In Vietnam, we call it na. In the Caribbean, they call it sweet sop. Same fruit. It's about the size of a baseball. The outside is green and bumpy, covered in these round segments that look like scales. And the inside is the whole point. The flesh is white, soft. You eat it with your fingers, and it tastes like someone mixed custard with a little banana and a little pineapple, then chilled it. My mom doesn't cook with it. Nobody does, really. You don't improve this fruit, you just eat it. When I was a kid, we had a nut tree near the house, and I knew that tree better than I knew my own homework. I check it on the way to school, check it again on the way back. I thought every kid in the world did this. It took me years in America to realize most people here have never even seen one. Sound familiar? Maybe for you it wasn't a sugar apple. Maybe it was a peach tree at your grandmother's place, or an apple tree you weren't supposed to climb. Every family that grows fruit has one tree. The kids can't leave alone. 5 years ago, my father planted 6 of these trees, and then nothing. For 3 years, nothing. Just leaves. He watered them, he fed them from his compost pile. He checked them every morning like they owed him money. 3 years. I asked him once if he was worried. He shrugged and kept pruning. Then one summer, the first fruit appeared, small, green, ugly, honestly. He didn't celebrate. He just nodded at it, like it had finally shown up to work. So, here's the question. If this fruit is so good, why isn't it in your grocery store? It's not because it's hard to grow. In the right climate, it almost grows itself. It's because this fruit cannot travel. Think about a banana for a second. A banana is a professional traveler. It gets picked green and hard, rides a ship across an ocean for weeks, sits in a warehouse, and ripens right on schedule under your kitchen light. A sugar apple can't do any of that. It ripens fast, and once it's ripe, it's soft. The skin is thin. Press it a little too hard, and you've bruised it. 2 or 3 days after it's ready, it's past its best. It goes from perfect to falling apart faster than almost any fruit I know. A banana can cross an ocean. This fruit can barely cross town. So it never made it into the shipping containers. It never made it onto the supermarket shelves. Outside of a few places like South Florida, it just doesn't exist in American life. which means there's really only one way to eat a great sugar apple. You have to be standing next to the tree, and you have to know the exact right day. And that is where 40 years of experience shows up. Here's what my father taught me. Look at the skin of a sugar apple. See those bumpy segments, the ones that look like scales? In Vietnamese, we call them the eyes of the fruit. Mắt na, the eyes of the na. When the fruit is young, those eyes are shut tight. The segments sit close together. The skin between them looks tight and a little rough. But when the fruit is almost ready, the eyes open. The segment spread apart just slightly. The skin between them stretches, and the whole fruit starts to look smoother, softer, like it relaxed. That's it. That's the signal. No calendar, no squeezing, no guessing. The fruit tells you right on its skin if you know what you're looking at. Yesterday morning, my father stood me in front of two fruits on the same branch. Same tree, same size, same green. To me, they looked identical. To him, one of them was shouting. He pointed at the first one. The eyes were still tight, still closed, not yet. Then the second one, and once he pointed it out, I could finally see it. The eyes had spread. The skin looked smoother, almost polished. That one was ready. He picked it without a word and moved on to the next tree. He can walk a whole tree in about a minute. I was still standing there, comparing the two fruits like it was an eye exam. Now, why does the timing matter so much? Why check every single morning? Because my father is not the only one who knows this signal. The birds know it too. They love this fruit as much as we do, maybe more. And once those eyes open, you have 1, maybe 2 days. That's it. Wait longer, and you come out one morning and find the fruit hollowed out on the branch and a very satisfied bird somewhere laughing at you. The birds check the trees more often than I check my phone, and I check my phone a lot. So, this daily walk of his is not a hobby. It's not him relaxing with his plant. During Na season, that morning walk is the harvest. Read the skin one day late, and the birds collect everything he waited 3 years for. I asked him how he learned to see it. When someone taught him what the trick was, he said something short in Vietnamese and laughed. Roughly, it means the fruit tells you. You just have to come and listen. 40 years of listening, that's the whole trick. There's no shortcut in it. And I think that's exactly why he trusts it. My father has a saying, ân quả nhớ kẻ trồng cây. When you eat the fruit, remember who planted the tree. Tonight in our house, that's not hard to do. Before I show you what happens after the picking, if your family had a tree like this back home, wherever home is, tell me about it in the comments. The tree, the kids couldn't leave alone. I read everyone. So, the fruit is picked. Here's what surprises people. You still can't eat it. Not yet. A sugar apple picked at the right moment is ready, but not ripe. It needs 1 or 2 more days. And my father's system for this is about as complicated as everything else he does. Which is to say, not complicated at all. He puts the fruit in a basket. He sets the basket somewhere cool and airy shade, good airflow, out of the sun, and then he lays a thin cloth over the top. That's the whole setup. The cloth keeps the flies and insects off, because as this fruit ripens, it starts to smell sweet, and everything with wings gets the same idea. No container, no refrigerator, a basket and a piece of cloth, the same way it's been done forever. Actually, hold on. I need to show you this basket. because there's something about a basket of na under a cloth that a supermarket shelf would never have. You lift the corner and the smell comes up at you. Sweet, a little floral. That smell is the fruit telling you it's close. And how do you know when it's finally done? One more signal, and this one. Anybody can read. You press the fruit gently. If it's soft under your fingers, it's ripe. Right now, not tomorrow. And here's my favorite part. You don't need a knife. You don't even need a spoon. When a sugar apple is truly ripe, the skin comes apart in your hands. You just pull it open with your fingers. Inside, white flesh, shiny black seeds, and that custard sweetness straight off the tree, 2 days out of the garden. Last night, my mom picked one up from the basket, pressed it, peeled it open right there, standing in the kitchen. She didn't say anything. She just reached for a second one. That's the review. One bonus tip before we finish, because I know most of you can grow this tree, and I don't want you leaving empty handed. You may never find a sugar apple in your store, but you might find its cousins. Cherry Moya shows up in a lot of American supermarkets now, especially out west. Ate Moya, which is half sugar apple, gets grown in Florida. Same family, similar custard flesh. And when you find one, use my father's rule. Trust your fingers, not your eyes. Don't pick the firm, handsome fruit that looks perfect under the lights. That one was picked for traveling, not for eating. Feel for the one that gives a little when you press gently near the stem. Then let it sit on your counter until it's soft, really soft, before you open it. Patience at the store, patience on the counter. His rule works 4,000 miles from his garden. So let's remember what we saw today. 5 years ago, my father planted 6 trees, and for 3 years, they gave him nothing but leaves, and he kept showing up anyway. The fruit tells you it's harvest day, right on its skin, if you learn to read the eyes. And the reward for reading them one day before the birds do is a fruit so good that nobody at the table says a word. That's what my father taught me. I hope it grows something for you too. See you in the next one.